How many people live in Iran?
I don't know. I couldn't say.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Sir? That's the way you want to put it.
Well, I don't have some way to put it. That's the way it is. What's the most you ever lost on a coin toss?
Sir?
I did want to play you, since we're on the Tucker conversation here, I did want to play you the #1 clip on the internet right now. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are watching should not startle you. What you see with Elon and Trump and with Tucker and Bannon and Trump, what you're seeing is the fires and the forging of a brand new and durable ideological movement that has a base to it, that has function to it, and that has clarity on where we're going, how we operate. You must have that. There's major welding going on. In order to weld something and create something new, you got to melt it down first. You got to cool it, build it back up, carve it to pieces. It takes real muscle. And that's what's happening. It's a good thing. These questions about whether we plunge our country into forever wars, those are nation killers. That's been the downfall of every empire. The Greeks, the Romans, the Persians, ironically. That's the wars of adventurism that stretch the empire too thin and collapse it from the inside. If you're looking at Rome because of too many criminal aliens, it's remarkable. It's the exact same way that Rome fell. Rome's army was stretched too thin. They brought in too many criminal aliens, too many foreigners into Rome. Those foreigners pulled out and strip mined the resources, the scant resources of what was left of a dying Roman Empire, and it would total and complete collapse. And you're seeing the sort of breaking point right now. Tucker Carlson is in Washington, D.C. Tucker Carlson did an interview with Ted Cruz, and hot damn, is it something. Now, Tucker dropped a teaser for that interview right now. It is burning up the internet. It's done millions and millions of views. And all Tucker does is explain, hey, Senator, you're calling for war with Iran, but you don't know anything about Iran. And perhaps you should learn something about the demographics and the makeup of the country before we go in and level the place, because it's going to become our problem if we do that. The exchange is remarkable. I'm sure you'll understand why this is the most viral clip on the entire internet right here.
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's,
because,
it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay,
it's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay,
actually,
I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government.
You're the one who claims,
know anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the
I'm
one
not saying that.
Who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump.
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here, because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
Israel.
Israel.
High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
Oh. I'm not one for gotcha questions, but I don't think it's a gotcha question. I'm going to make the principled argument on Tucker's behalf here that the reason why the population of Iran and the makeup of their people is so important is because of exactly what happened with neocon war pigs, with Afghanistan, Iraq. We will be welcomed as liberators. Remember Dick Cheney said? It is my firm belief that we'll be welcomed as liberators. What happened next? Jackass created ISIS. That's what happened. You created sectarian violence, warring tribes with tens of millions of people that don't like each other, that then decided to slaughter each other, slaughter a bunch of Christians, blow up Christian churches. Then that bled over into Syria. And then what happened? Oh, that created the migrant crisis in Syria, where tens of millions of Syrian Muslims then were relocated to where? Not China, not Israel, not India, Europe. They were plunged deep into the hearts of Paris and London and Brussels, and you created a migrant crisis that, of course, is now going to lead to the total fall of Europe. 1,000 years after Europe had conquered Muslim armies and kicked them out of Europe, now they've been welcomed back, thanks to American neocons. A totally and complete peaceful coup without a shot being fired in Europe. Go check in on these great European cities. They're not European anymore. So then what happens if you trigger that? That's Iraq. That's a country of 20 million. Iran's 5 times bigger. So obviously you need to ask the question, if you level the place, where do they all go? If you create total and complete sectarian dysfunction and you create a brand new ISIS, what the hell happens? It's a totally and completely logical line of questioning from Tucker. People are attacking Tucker this morning for that. People are saying, wow, Tucker, how could you? Yeah, who cares? Trivia with Tucker, right? No, man. It's a great line of questioning because you need to ask, what happens next? So after Lindsey Graham gets his rocks off, right, with all the, with his bombing special sock, what happens next? What happens to 100 million people who are then bombed into poverty and starving? I can guarantee you what's going to happen. Leftist NGOs, the George Soros types who are pushing this, are going to call for 100 million Muslims to be then airdropped into Western countries. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. It's crazy, man. Like, what a logical line of question that is, and also how poorly Ted Cruz performed there. You gotta think through these steps. That's what being an adult is. That's what being a man is. You have to think a couple steps ahead. What are going to be the consequences of my actions? What will it mean at the bar if I spill my drink on this guy? Does that end up with me having no teeth in my mouth by the end of the night? Like bloody on the sidewalk? I'm going to think through my actions here. Do I want to start this fight?